Hello everyone, this is L Spectra here to bring you a guide on combat mechanics in Battle of Disorder. Now, this is a little impromptu, but I will probably put out two videos. The first video will be on basic mechanics around ambushing another alliance who is in the process of capturing a Heaven's Origin altar. I see some units being recalled. Maybe they're aware, but basically, as long as you have one tile touching the, I'm just gonna call them altars. As long as you have one tile touching the altar, and then as long as you have the flag connection, you can declare on the altar. And the moment you declare, you will be able to attack and kick out all the enemies that are currently present in the altar. So for example here, if I declare now, we will be able to attack in 2 minutes. And the reason I can declare is that we are connected both via flag and via tile. Here you can see we formed a connection here. And so there are currently 87 units in here. And once you attack into this altar, your march will fight in a 1v1 scenario across all 87 marches. Now, in the previous Battle of Disorder, actually, the march that reinforced last will be the march that you will face first. However, in this Battle of Disorder, there seems to be some kind of weirdness going on where, although a strong march reinforced last and an attack, I can still hit and kick out a lot of the weaker marches. So as you can see here, we are about to ambush. Well, not really ambush because I bet they are expecting it, but we are about to declare on this altar, which they are in the process of breaking down. And the benefit of this is that the alliance who deals the last attack, meaning that the alliance who basically the alliance that shaves off the last bit of HP on the altar will be the alliance that captures the altar. So this can be a good strategy if you're trying to conserve stamina and overall effort. Basically, you are capturing the altar without having to expend the effort of killing the wall defense, which can be pretty tedious, and the stamina needed to burn through the HP of the altar. So now I will declare war, and we will be able to attack in 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Now the opponent won't be able to know that you declared war on them. So it is best in these scenarios to not immediately teleport your castles over and just wait until the timer counts down. Because if you teleport your castle over, then you might spook the enemy and they will start leaving. And you want to get the maximum number of hits in. So the reason why I want to make this a two-part video is because actually about a few hours earlier, we were in the process of capturing this tile, this altar. And we kind of expected BHT, especially their top player here, to be AFK. And we were down to about 3,500 health. And that is when BHT kind of sprang into action. And actually, I was even surprised that they would wait until the altar is such low HP because the timing can get pretty tight. Especially in cases where you declare and the countdown finishes, there could be some random people that would just start launching marches, and that would alert the enemy for sure. But BHT was able to time it very well, so props to them. And actually, they almost took the altar from us in that ambush. And I think that fight was an excellent showcase of the power of armaments and how to best use armaments in Battle of Disorder. So I will be covering that fight in the video following this one. And the reason why I want to make this into two separate videos because the other, so that video I actually did not manage to record. One of my clanmates recorded it. The battle was actually too intense for me to move from my phone to my laptop and start the recording. But we did prevail, and I hope in that video I will be able to showcase how armaments can be very useful especially in Battle of Disorder, where the stamina for each of your hero teams are limited. Because in essence, you can equip the best armaments on your set of heroes, and then you can just switch into a new team when your main teams run out of stamina. So I think our timing here was pretty good. We will probably be able to hit them by the time that the HP falls below 20%. So the start timing here coincides very well with how much we want to reduce the HP by, because we just finished our fight with versus BHT and our stamina overall is quite low. So the current plan is for JFK to not lose this tile. Please do not lose. Okay, I think it will be fine. Whose tile is this? This better be JFK's tile. If this is not JFK's tile, then he won't be able to teleport. Okay, this is JFK's tile. So at least he will be able to teleport here, but he will need to attack this first. It's very important because the moment you lose connection, it doesn't matter if you declare it. You won't be able to attack the altar. So I hope one of them stops it. If not, then I might have to intervene. So JFK will teleport here, and then he will instantly launch multiple marches to this altar. And I hope to showcase. Well, okay, he's a bit early. I think he should have ported when the timer was actually like 5 seconds left. But this is kind of a safe call. He's able to kick out this march. Actually, he was not able to kick out that march. So he will send another march to prevent the capture. So yeah, here I will have the opportunity to showcase what kicking out 94 marches look like. And unfortunately for this alliance is called Gen. I think it's Genesis. They are history. So I will let my clanmate do the bulk of the damage here, and then I will move in my personal march. Here we go. And this will deal a lot of damage to them. So let's see how many marches I'm able to kill. So I killed 21 marches, which is pretty good. Interestingly, if this was still following the old combat mechanics from the first Battle of Disorder, one march, if it is strong enough, it will literally kick out every single march in there. The reason why in this Battle of Disorder it doesn't work like that is because they actually tuned the attack power of the teams. I believe it's mostly regarding normal attack power, but each side is able to hit the opposing side for very, very hard. I can probably just show a couple of examples here. Maybe I should have prepared these examples beforehand, but in summary, the normal attacks deal a lot of damage, and you simply cannot withstand too many teams. Because each team, although you will kill them quickly, they will deal a lot of damage to you before they die. Even if you one-shot them, they will be able to deal at least 5 attacks against you. So the infantry will die first, so the infantry will get in 1 attack, and then the cavalry will get in 2 attacks before it dies, and the archer as well. So even in the best case scenario, you will be hit 5 times, 5 normal attacks, and that is going to shave some of your team's infantry units. And eventually your team just cannot withstand the constant barrage of normal attacks. Um, Maybe I can make this into an example. Not so much, but I can show how the combat looks like. It actually uses like a different combat engine than what you would expect. Maybe not in this case. Okay, not in this case, but in a lot of cases, for some reason, it uses a different combat engine where archers, infantry, and cavalry like all deal the same damage. And here you can see the result of our ambush. You have about 90 to 95 marches going back in defeat. So as a consequence of the new battle mechanic here, which is very different from regular battle mechanics outside of Battle of Disorder, the ideal armament setups are actually very different. So Michael's ultimate actually does not reduce damage anymore. For some reason, buffs and debuffs equally don't really apply too well in this new battle engine, in this Battle of Disorder battle engine. I'm just going to call it BOD battle engine. And as a result, Kellerman actually shines quite well because Kellerman is able to suppress normal attacks. And because so much damage comes from normal attacks, Kellerman's armament is actually quite good here. As opposed to outside of BOD, Kellerman's armament would be pretty shit. So in the next video, I will showcase the fight between us and BHT. We clash quite a lot with their Glorious 10 player. He is, stat-wise, he is much superior to us. So I think, in my personal opinion, if it wasn't for the changed battle mechanic in this BOD, we would not be able to handle BHT's marches, especially due to how high his overall stats are, even considering the tree buffs. Because the tree buffs actually, if the combat mechanic was the usual mechanic, the tree buffs actually kind of balances the gap between a lower power player and a higher power player. This is because stats are kind of multiplicative. So the difference between 1,200, the difference between 1,000% and 1,500%, for example, it's much less than the gap between 1,700 and 2,200. So although the tree buffs are, it closes the gap a little bit. Well, it should close the gap quite a lot, actually. The actual impact of it is kind of unknown in this case, simply because how different the battle system is. Actually, I can just go to my favorites. So here, for example, I'll just show this really strange battle report. So you can see right away, the camera angle is very different. And just take a look at the damage. You can see 2203. His infantry, cavalry, and archer all hit 2203 in the first volley. And that is just very weird. And now look at my cavalry. Look at his cavalry. He's barely taking any damage. And look at his archer now. Typically, the archer would just instantly melt. But look at that 1117. It's not melting. So yeah, the battle engine in this BOD is just very different. I wouldn't say that I dislike it because I think it's actually more beneficial towards lower end players, and it does not allow a peak player like someone with over 100 million lord power to completely dominate the competition. Because after all, the Battle of Disorder is a a fairly solo game mode in terms of direct clashes. If you have 100 million power in a normal situation, you will literally be able to kick out every single team if you're significantly stronger than them all. And that was actually the case in the last Battle of Disorder. Right, so in this Battle of Disorder, here is an example. I will go more into this in the next video. But here you can see I used a highly substitute team because I was simply out of. So either you're out of hero stamina, or you want to conserve the hero stamina on your main teams, because after all, stats still kind of matter. So you do not really want to use these highly suboptimal teams in your main clashes, but using the right armas, they are still very strong. As you can see here, I was able to deal fairly well. I mean, I was able to handle these Season 5 heroes fairly well. So yeah, I will see everyone in the next video. Now we will just be cleaning up this altar, and there's nothing they can do about it.